big game of the week is the biggest game of the weekend. Everybody was looking forward to it. I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to sit here and lie in front. I picked Green Bay. I was shocked. I was as stunned as anyone else.
I would hope that you wouldn't consider it's on tape from Friday.
Well, right. Okay. Everything's not funny.
No, but I mean, not funny. How in the world could you come up today and act like you didn't? It's on tape. You picked them.
Oh, no.
That's what I meant.
But Tampa Bay just put it on them. 38-10. I don't know if I've ever seen Aaron Rodgers look so bad. He was 11 for 26. Passer rating of like something crazy. Let me get his numbers. It was horrific. Two interceptions. First two interceptions of the year. He had the pick six that really got it rolling. They start off, I thought it might be a route the other way. Green Bay up 10-0 after the first quarter. And then Rodgers fell apart. Passer rating 35.4, second lowest in a game in his career that he played the whole game and didn't leave with injury. 160 yards, no touchdowns, 2 picks. Here's what Rodgers said about the game.
You don't ever want to lose like this. I feel like we needed a little bit of a wake-up call at some point this season because things have been so good. And there's been so much talk, maybe outside the building, about the ease with which we're, moving the ball on offense and scoring. And, I think we need a kind of a kick in the ass a little bit as a little bit of a wake up to, stop feeling ourselves so much and get back to the things that got us to this position. And I think this would be, unfortunately, but fortunately, something we can really grow from.
Yeah, I think, wake up call is one way to put it. But I think Rodgers needed the wake up call as much as anybody else. Rodgers needed the slap in the face, the humbling like everybody else. Aaron Rodgers was the one a week ago to say a bad season for me is a good season for most quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers needed the humbling like anyone else. And I tell you what, Rob, I look, Aaron Rodgers, I think he's great. Obviously a first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the best to ever do it. But I felt like watching that game, I saw the things that have made Tom Brady a 6-time Super Bowl champion, and the things that have made Aaron Rodgers a guy that hasn't gotten back to the Super Bowl in a decade. Not that there aren't other factors. Obviously, Brady's had the great coach in Belichick. He had the great defenses. Rodgers' defenses have at times let him down. But on the Brady side, he didn't throw for 400 yards. He threw for 166. Nothing special. But 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. And what I mean by what I saw from him, I saw, you mock me, but it's true. Anyone who knows the position knows that quarterbacking is not just about physical ability. The 2 best quarterbacks we've ever seen, Tom Brady and Joe Montana, it wasn't about their physical gifts. Obviously, they had some, but they weren't the most gifted physically. But the intangibles, the mental game, the leadership, being able to galvanize a team. And Tom Brady, we saw a week ago, going off on his offensive linemen about the penalties. They were a mess, and we knew Bruce Arians ain't going to be the one to clean this up. This is what he does. He runs a loose ship. But Tom Brady, part of his job was to come in there and put his personality on that team. Teach them about winning. And sure enough, a week later, yesterday, they become the first team this season to go a full game with no penalties. I attribute a lot of that to Tom Brady. Then the touchdown pass to Gronk perfectly thrown. Make no mistakes. The defense is running roughshod over Green Bay. He makes no mistakes. Leadership, no mistakes. Perfectly thrown pass when it needs to be. On the other hand, look, Aaron Rodgers was great in that Super Bowl in 2010. 3 touchdowns, just fantastic. But, man, he's had a lot of big games where he just didn't get it done. And I know this wasn't a playoff game, but it still was a big game. Everything was touted. Brady versus Rodgers. Let's see if Tampa Bay's for real. And Aaron Rodgers wets the bed. Because it wasn't just, the pick 6 was bad enough, but that happens. It's happened to Brady, obviously, several times. Then the following pick, that's bad enough, but it happens. But after that, he looked shook. He misses Mercedes Lewis wide open for a sure touchdown. He underthrows Valdez-Scantling later. He has a delay of game that Troy Aikman even said on the broadcast is on Aaron Rodgers. He looked shook. And I'm saying, I've said it before, his performances in NFC title games is not good. How a guy that hardly ever throws interceptions, in 4 NFC title games, he's got 6 TDs and 7 picks. And there are times when the great Aaron Rodgers, when the lights are bright, he gets shook. That's what I took away from yesterday. Sorry for hogging up much of the time. Real talk.
All right, bad day at the office. That's all I got for you since you took all the time. I looked at it as simply a bad day at the office that got off to a bad start. They had been perfect all year, no turnovers. I'm talking about not even interceptions, no turnovers whatsoever. They had won 9 games in a row regular season. They had a lot of stuff going their way, and it just got away from them. That's the only way I look at that game. I don't look at it any other way. They're not going to win every game, and you can look at it any way you want. But you know what's funny is when Tom Brady doesn't play well, or with the Bears game and that game where they scored only a touchdown in the first quarter, your response is always, "Oh yeah, they'll be fine." And you know what I'm going to say about the Packers? They'll be fine.
Tom Brady's in a new offense with new teammates. Half the team, receivers, skill position players weren't even there, early in the season. This is going to be a work in progress. I'm not going to sit here and talk about how I picked Tampa Bay to get to the Super Bowl and lose to Kansas City, but get there because it's early. It's a long way to go. They're going to have, another valley, but I think they're going to make the playoffs. And with that defense, I think they can do some damage. So it's early. I'm not going to overreact to it. But you're a guy, Rob, who always, and this is good. I agree with you on this. You look at the schedule. And when you look at the Packers' schedule, Vikings they beat. Lions they beat. Saints, good win, but, 37-30. Falcons they beat. They were finally up against a better team, and they got pushed around. Beyond Rodgers, that defense, it's a little bit soft. And I remember last year, I thought the 49ers were the only ones that could really manhandle them. But Tampa Bay manhandled them, just physically. And I think that's an issue for the Packers. I'm not writing them off. I don't think they'll win the Super Bowl or get there, but, they're going to be in the playoffs, and they're going to be a factor. But I thought there were some things in that game that made you say, does that concern you or give you pause at least? You talk about the schedule, not beating, really good teams and stuff like that.
I don't look at it like that because you're not going to win every game. You're not going to beat every good team. You're not going to win every game. It's just the NFL. We see it week to week where you see games where you think teams are going to win and they don't get it done. And for whatever reason, if you would have told me that the that Tampa Bay was up 13-0 on the Bears and they would lose that game, I don't think most people would have believed that, but they did. It happens. So I'm a realist when it comes to it. I can't expect that Green Bay is going to win every game and everything's going to go right. No team, I can't remember how many teams have gone 4 weeks to start the season with no turnovers on any level. So things even out. Nobody's going to be perfect. I just look at it as a bad day.
All right, 877-99 on Fox, 877-996-6369. Your turn to weigh in. Did Sunday reveal some underlying issues with Aaron Rodgers? You heard my take. Big games, bright lights. Does he get shook? Or, like Rob said, is it just a bad day at the office? We will continue the conversation with you next.
Tori in Georgia, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio.
Yeah, man, I got to agree with Chris on this one. As a bona fide Green Bay Packers fan, before Brett Favre got traded from Atlanta, I got to say he was a little bit shook because of what the defense threw at him. I don't think we were ready for that game.
They blitzed him more than he's seen. They hit him more than he's been hit the last, this whole season.
He was late in a couple of throws, too. Late, and they were dropping balls, and he was stepping back and trying to maneuver, and he also fumbled the ball once.
Yeah, once it started going bad, he went completely
I think
south.
he got shook too.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, it was a bad day. But
Matt in Milwaukee, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio.
What's going on, guys?
What's up, man? Be interested
man,
to hear your take. Obviously, you're a cheesehead.
I am, and I agree with Chris. I agree with you, man, on this one. Aaron is just, ever since he stepped in for Favre, he's just not a very vocal quarterback. He's really reserved, and it showed yesterday when I think it was on one of the last drives when he was walking to the sideline and he was shaking his head. And it's like, why don't you be more vocal with your offensive line and, be more vocal with your receivers? I just think he's too reserved. Who's the better quarterback, him or Brady? Tom Brady all day. And it's not even because he was with Belichick. It's just, he's just the better,
He got the intangibles. Like I said,
Yeah, he's more intense. He knows what he's doing, and just Rodgers just looked like crap yesterday. He just doesn't, ever since that Super Bowl win, and you can blame the team, you can blame the coaching. He's just not, I just don't think he's, he was shaken up last night for sure.
All right, Max in Georgia, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Max?
Hey, what's up, Rob? What's up, Chris?
What's up,
Rob,
man?
you're my guy, but I got to roll with Chris on this. I've really never really quite understood the whole thing with Rodgers sometimes. It just seems like he's hot some games, he'll go on streaks, and then he comes out to a game like this where it's a primetime afternoon event against Tom Brady, a potential NFC title game matchup possibly, and he just comes out there with a dud. I'm really bothered because it's off a bye week. You come off a bye, your coaching staff, everybody needs to be ready to go. Now, I know they've had some serious injuries. I know they've had some depletions at receiver. I know they got their best receiver back, and it looked like he was kind of forcing some things to Adams sometimes. But he just looked shook. He just looked like Tom Brady did against the Bears defense. He looked like he got smacked in the mouth and just forgot about playing, and I just don't like it. That's all I wanted to say.
Good point about the bye week. You should be more prepared. I mean, you had to know some of what at least Tampa Bay was going to throw at them, and they weren't ready for it.
Marty in Kentucky, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Marty?
What's up, fellas? How you doing? It's Magic City Monday.
We're good, brother. How are you?
I'm good. I'm going to use the same point as the last caller, but I'm going a different direction. I've seen it over and over again after bye weeks. I see it when teams get byes in the playoffs. Teams after bye weeks come out stale and look bad. It happens all the time. It happened last year to Baltimore. They come out and look bad against Tennessee. It's happened for years. Even the Chiefs come out and look stale after their bye week. They got down 21-0, but because they had the great Pat Mahomes, they came back. I see this a lot. I don't think bye weeks benefit teams. I think teams that are playing week to week are sharper. And I think if these two teams play again, we'll see a better matchup. I hate to hear these Green Bay fans turn on Aaron Rodgers like that. He's a Hall of Famer. He's a great.
Well, there's no disputing that he's a Hall of Famer and an all-time great, but he's had some struggles in some of these big games.